So of course you have a variety of sentiment cards that come in the Kiwi Club kits, and they are double-sided so that you get even more patterns on the back. You're probably not going to use all the sentiment cards, so we definitely designed them so that you can use, or so that you can get more patterns from using the opposite side. So really you're just going to pick the one that works best for whatever couple pages that you're designing, so that you do have variety depending on personal needs. So for this one specifically, I'm going to go with Let's Go for a Ride because it's hot air balloon pictures. And what's nice is the designer templates, of course, really allow you to customize your page by tracing out whatever designs you want for this card. It could be really cute to leave it big, but for this one, I'm going to personally trace around that and add that to my page. Actually, this same design probably would work for Every Summer Has a Story, which would still give you pieces down here to cut some different embellishments or anything out that you wanted out of this paper. Or even for pocket pages, you could add a photo and design up and around that. Anyways, actually those all three would look really cute in this groovy number 6 piece. So basically all I'm going to do is lay it down, adjust it where I want it to go, and then of course trace around that. So now that I cut that out, because I knew I wanted to have that as my sentiment, as far as what patterns to cut what, I really love this hot air balloon pattern. It's really cute. Of course, it works for the pictures that I have. Now there's a couple options. One, instantly looking at this page, I could choose to have this pattern out of the circles. So I could do this circle and this circle. The only thing I don't like about that is that I want the hot air balloons to show, and the way that I have this designed, most of it's going to be hidden, right? So the next option is that I do it as this back plaque piece right here from Gadgets, or a Gadgets accessory set. And that would be really cute. It would set the tone of the page. So that's not a bad option. The only thing that I'm trying to decide here is that when I have my hot air balloons, I want those to also stand out. And with the busy background, it can make them blend a little bit more so they won't stand out. So that's something to be thinking about. Now the next option, even though it's small pieces, is to use these tiny borders and allow a little of that pattern to pop through, not necessarily being the main component of the page, but helping to the overall theme of the page, which is hot air balloons in my case. So that's where I'm kind of thinking is that, hey, do I put those there or do I put them there? And again, only the things that are going to show is basically up here and not even a lot down here. So if I put them in this one, then I can see kind of if a hot air balloon will show at all. It shows a little, but still not tons. So for me, I'm trying to decide the best way to go about doing that. I could extend these so that they're longer, but I think I want it to be a nice clean look. So I might want to adjust this then. Maybe I want this to come up a little bit more so that more of the pattern will show. And maybe I can do a cute little high in the sky or something, right? And then over here, what if I adjust my design a little, taking in consideration my patterns that I want to also utilize on my page. And I could bring it up, but I'm not going to bring it up because this one's up. So I'm going to bring this one down on the circle and this one up on that one, right? And that's going to be hidden there. So this could actually come down maybe a little bit more, like so, and we'll see if we still like that. Okay. And then we can have this back in, whether that's here, or we can even adjust it a little bit over here. So it's just some minor tweaks that I want to take into consideration before I start cutting. I do think that that's going to work, so that will be really cute. So the question is, do I need this circle to go all the way up, or do I just need it to be poking out the side? Because the title's gonna go there. So for the most part, that's gonna be hidden. And I really just think it's gonna be more of a side tuck. So all I need to do is cut just a portion of this circle. I don't wanna cut the whole thing because that will waste my paper. So I'm gonna line it up here, and I'm just going to cut a portion out. And for this page, I actually want it to be a full circle. So I don't want them to be rings for this page. So I just need to cut that out. I'm just gonna cut this first one before I do the next one, because I want to see if my choice, my judgment call there was a good one. So I'm just going to test this out really fast, make sure that I'm completely utilizing this pattern the best way I can, because I do love it. Of course, another design could have been just as cute, but this is kind of what I was inspired to design, so I'm gonna go with it. That's cute. A lot of that still shows, it still adds a lot of character to the page. I think it's gonna work. So then the next one, I only need to cut out a portion. You can mark these up. If it bothers you, you can erase them or just keep them on there. But for the most part, I always try to erase them. That way I don't get confused with what pencil marks were the previous ones and which ones were the most recent. So I need it to be up on the top, and I don't think I'm gonna get that out of that. So I need to go over here and do this portion. Again, I only need a little bit of that. So I'm just gonna go ahead and cut it out of this part. And of course they're double-sided, so this playground pattern would be so cute for the parks or lemonade or swimming. I would use this more as a supporting pattern there. And then we'll want to, and on the circles, usually I detach it, but because they're circle shaped, I just follow it around. It's just as if I was gonna cut up around it for detaching it from that large sheet. So just really, you'll kind of feel it out when you're cutting. If it's becoming really complicated, then just quickly detach it so you don't get annoyed with dealing with the full sheet of paper. Okay, now that didn't go straight. Okay, so learn from me there. I definitely want that to go straight. So I don't like it. Let me try it again. Yep, I don't like it that way. So I measured that wrong. Okay, so with the patterns, you definitely want that to take it in consideration. I needed this part, not just half of the ring. I needed to make sure that this was down here. So let me find my marks there. So I have one there, and let me just mark this again. And I need to make sure that it's straight on. So I will have to find a use, but that's not gonna work. Okay. So it really only takes off, I mean, I don't need this side in here, so I could trim that out. But from a design point, it's really not making that much of a difference. So I'm just gonna trace out the whole circle on this small one, just to make sure that I don't mess it up again. But if you really needed some of that green for another layout or another project that you're working on, then you could snip in and snip in here and save that piece of scrap for maybe something else. So let's try that again. It's gonna work. So I'm just gonna go ahead and ink up the edges really fast so that it pops off of this red background. And then we'll definitely utilize this somewhere, but just not on this layout. But you can learn from me, and if you do the same design, make sure you just cut that out as a full circle from the start. then you shouldn't have any complications. Because I really want a piece of that to show. Okay. So far, so good. And then I'm just gonna cut out my borders, my hot air balloons. I already have my pictures cut out, so I could go ahead and replace those. I'm gonna have that one be there. I'm gonna have that one be there, which I need to mark that. That's where I'm gonna be cutting that in half. So I already made that mark, so I'm just gonna move that down. And you can see the video on how I cut my pictures down for that step. Now, as far as the next big piece is this piece right here, the gadgets. So I'm going to need to add that there. I have this blue and this darker blue on the back. I did use some on my other layout that I already did. I have this stripe, which I think will be really cute for those borders to add a little bit more pattern in. Oh wow, that blue is really pretty. It's a really pretty blue. That could really pop. The yellow would be really nice too. Of course, the suns are really cute, so it would give another pattern to that layout. And this is great for photo mats and stuff, but it could be nice to lighten the page too. Okay, lots of options. So let me backtrack here. It's a yellow. I do like the yellow. I think the suns would be really cute. I really like that. I don't want this stripe there. I possibly want the stripes there, just as little accents, and even possibly on top of the hot air balloons would be really cute. So for this background, I really want it to just be subtle. The blue is really cute too. Now it's sitting next to this blue, so it would be blue, blue, not a big deal. You would probably just need to balance it with like maybe a blue over on the kite, which I should have enough if I wanted to do that. This one, I feel like it's a little bit, it's not the right for my pictures. My pictures are a little bit more blue focused. I actually also have this, and I could cut that pattern out of those instead of doing the stripes. Oh, that could be really cute. I think I might do that. Okay, so let's see. I am down to either this one, and can I get that piece out? I think I can. It's either that or this light blue. I want some more patterns to the life of this page, so I think for me I'm going to go with the sun art just so that it gives another pattern to the overall feel of the page. And then I do think I'm going to go ahead and cut those out of this. Now I could cut it out of the stripes, but I feel like that might, being laying on top of that one, it might blend in just a little bit more, and I really want the patterns to come off of each other just because you see so many patterns and colors in the hot air balloons, so I do want a lot of patterns and colors to my page as well. I think it will give the overall feel that I'm looking for. So let me go ahead and pull this up, and we're just going to simply lay it on top of my piece of paper here and make sure that I'm using this paper as efficiently as I can. So I'm going to get it nice and tight in the spot, and then we'll just trace it out. Easy enough. This one's really a fun one to layer and do different things on top of. Like, you could absolutely have it on a page with 2 cute photos. How cute would that be? But for this one, I'm going to use more as like a placemat, like a photo mat behind. Since I'm not matting all of my pictures on this one, and really sometimes I mat my pictures, sometimes I don't. But because I'm not matting my pictures on this one, I just wanted a pop of color to come up behind my pictures, is really my thought process on that. Okay, so there's that. And that's gonna go behind those. And then I want to cut those out. So let me get those. I'm first gonna try to see if I can still utilize that saying, which I think I can because I'm not using these all the way up. Just in case I want to use that for a card or something else. So I'm just gonna adjust these a little, so I'm not gonna go full on all the whole width. I'm just gonna go to about there, and then I'm gonna trace that out. And then I'll just do a straight cut right before the words, so that I can still use that if I want on a card, like I mentioned. And then we'll just cut that once up the middle, and we'll have both of our pieces. And of course I'm going to be using the pattern on the back, but I went ahead and just traced on that side so that I can see where those words were and not accidentally cut them when I can use them. So those are our pieces. Also be really cute with that. Now, I like the pattern. I'm gonna go with the pattern. All right, so let me go ahead and ink all of this up, and then we will work on our hot air balloons. So for this kit, I really want to make sure that I'm stretching this paper as far as I can because I just think it's so cute, and I have tons of pictures that I want to scrapbook with it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna actually, I know I cut this whole thing out, but because it's gonna be hidden by pictures, I am just going to trim off a little strip so that again I have those pieces to use on cards or even on pocket pages. I actually wanted this to be up a little bit more, so I think I'm going to do from there, and then I want this to come down a little bit more on this end, maybe poked out on that end, so I'll trim it up about there. And so I'm just going to cut those and then use that middle center on something else. So that will work. I got a little nervous there, so I'm going to check it one more time. Make sure that it goes all the way up. Yeah, okay. That's about where I wanted it. Okay, and so then I'll have this to use on something else, since all of this is going to be tucked in. And then I just need to make sure that I line it up correctly. And this picture is going to go over here, and then I'm going to cut that down. Okay, so I had this picture over here. I'm like, wait, this doesn't work. I had this picture over here. Nope, this one over here, and then this one, and then this one, and so forth. Okay, so we tuck that back in. Okay, so I went ahead and adhered all of my pictures down in the circles and the layers that I currently have, so that I can focus in on hot air balloons. I of course love this kite. I think it still could work because we're outside, even though we're not flying a kite personally. But I might just pull over some of these hot air balloons and do another couple over here to very much have hot air balloons all over. We'll see how that goes. And then the next thing, I really need something for journaling. And there's this really cute journaling card. Now I could just have it around somewhere, you know, just laying there, but cutting them out of shapes really make them be a part of the layout. It's just like we did with the title. So let me see, if I cut it out of the circle, basically we went on a hot air balloon right before we moved from Idaho. It was a great way just to kind of see Boise from high up, and it was just a really nice morning, early but nice. So I want to document just a little bit about that. I don't need to put our fun day. I could just do a circle down here and have that just be it. The other thing is I could pull in maybe tags and have tags be the journaling. So let me see what that looks like. I just had tags popping down right there, maybe with a circle and a little extra embellishment. Can't cover. I'm only gonna have a piece of it, right? So I'm gonna have it tucked up and behind it. So it would just be kind of tucked there. It could be cute too. And then of course I'm just having the kite kind of hold this spot. Or maybe I'll do the kite. I don't know. I haven't decided that yet. But I know I want some kind of embellishment over there. I think the tags would be really clean. Again, it would be something maybe like that, or with the tags. Because I could probably get that out of there. It would be straight cut here, but I could hide it with this. So then on my page, it would look like that. I think I like the tags. So let me just cut a little bit out of this tag, enough to journal with. And then we will kind of decide on the next pieces. And the great thing is I still have a piece of that journaling tag or card for another project that I'll be working on. So that works. And then I'm just gonna have that tucked right in. So I just need to ink the bottom part here and then have that placed underneath my pictures. If I can get that up, there we go. That'll be a cute accent on there. Okay, so as far as the hot air balloons, I definitely wanted to pull this in. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut a couple hot air balloons. I can either have the stripes go this way or this way. It's the same, so it really doesn't matter. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut them this way so that I go up on my 12-inch sheet of paper. So for the baskets of the hot air balloon, I want to do them as different colors. So I have the back, just these pieces of scraps. So I can definitely take advantage of that scrap. And use it for gray, or there's this blue, which I really love. And or this one. It's too bright. Don't like it. Too much of that color already. So for me, it's coming down to the blues or the gray. So I might do a couple different hot air balloons different ways. I'm gonna cut a small one. I'm gonna cut one out of this blue really fast. And I'm just gonna cut the bottom portion of the basket so that we can layer it on top. Okay. And let's just do one first and see how that looks, and then we'll decide if we want to do another blue one, if we want to do a gray one, just to kind of get a feel for how it's looking. And you just trim that out. Ink the edges really fast. And I'm going to use a little pop-up on my basket. And sometimes you have to trim up around it, so let me add a little pop-up really fast. And then we can trim around it and ink those edges as well. It will make a huge difference. You could even add ribbon or other blings to your hot air balloons. You can really decorate them up. I'm thinking a solid hot air balloon will be cute. I don't know. I kind of like the patterns. I like the patterns. We could do another hot air balloon out of this. I don't think I'm going to be using this, but although I think it's super cute, I just don't think I have anything this time to scrapbook with that. Let's see. More solids on the back of here. No, we don't need a red one. We don't need another saying, because I was about to say you could probably get a saying out of one of these. Okay, so I'm thinking I'm gonna put another hot air balloon over here. Let's try moving these over here and seeing what we can get. If I put them all at the top, Does that work? Or if I put them down more at the bottom corner. I need different color hot air balloons. I'm gonna have to do different color hot air balloons. So let me just trace out a couple different ones so we can get a feel, and then, so I'm gonna do one out of this color. I'm just gonna cut a couple different ones. Okay, so I'm gonna work on the hot air balloons. I might add a couple gems or ribbon just to kind of dress them up, but for the most part, it works to cut out 4 of them. And then as far as this section right here, I'm going to try to take this pattern again, and I want the circle to basically cut around a hot air balloon. So I'm gonna line that up so that the hot air balloon is in the center of my circle, and then trace and cut it out. And now I'm just gonna cut the tiny charms out of the blue, the same little card that I used for the hot air balloon up there, so that it pulls the dark blue over here. Also on the back of one of the cards are these really cute circles, just variety for you to choose from. I did slice it off a little just because the opposite side is where I cut out Let's Go for a Ride, I believe. So if you just make sure to check that before you cut it out, then you should be good, but I think I can still make those work, no problem. Now to dress up the hot air balloons, you can do ribbon, or you can add some buttons, or you can add some stickles, or whatever you want to do to dress it up. I just added a little texture with some rickrack, right? Doesn't it scream for rickrack? This page just screams for it. So I pulled out this yellow rickrack that I had, and I just have some scraps left. So I added it to this one. I think I'm gonna go ahead and add it to this blue as well. It'll be really cute, and I'll just add a little bit of color. And then basically you're just gonna add some liquid glue or whatever you prefer, glue dots. And I'm just gonna add some strips of glue to dress that up. And then we'll trim it off. Okay, I just cut it and then do the next one. It's really simple. Again, lots of options on how maybe you want to dress some of those up. Then I would just flip it over and trim off that edge. Really cute. As far as adding a couple of these, I'm not sure my page needs too much more. I'm pretty simple on my embellishments, my extra embellishments, but I always like to add a little bit of texture. So I think maybe I could add, you know, something here and there just to kind of define this title a little bit more. That would look cute. And maybe a little bit right there, just to add a little texture too. And because I use embellishments sparingly, these last me a pretty good while. So just having kind of basic colors on hand, this often is my go-to just to add a little bit of texture and dimension. So that works, and I did tie a little ribbon around, so I think I'm gonna do the same thing on this one up here. We'll add a little ribbon. So I have been told that if you tie your bow upside down, then your strings to your ribbon will fall straight. So we're gonna try it out and see. It's been a while, but I vaguely remember being told that. So we're gonna tie our ribbon this way, but we actually want them to fall this way. So far they're not giving us any problem. Sometimes those want to, on the bows, they want to go opposite directions. So that works. Okay, so the last step is I'm gonna cut apart my page here. Now, I did mention earlier that you could mark them and then cut them down before you adhere them down, but I didn't do that, so that would be a quick, easy step. But it didn't really bother me too much because I was pretty confident that I could just cut it at the end. So when I was adhering these two sides together, I just made sure these were lined up. Now I do have a really good paper cutter, so I think that's why it didn't bother me, but you're probably going to want to cut those before you actually adhere those down if that concerns you. Because for me, I'm just going to line it up. See how it's lined up right there? And then I'm just going to cut straight down. Like so. Ink those edges, or maybe even not ink them. I might just leave them because I wouldn't necessarily ink them. And I'm done.